Sweden is a little bit weird. I actually mean Sweden is wonderful, it is innovative, it is a pioneer sometimes, and they do interesting things. So why I'm making this video today is because I sometimes come across certain things I'm reading or hearing about Sweden, things which are happening in Sweden. You know, I know it from news or just from my own experience. And in today's video, I just wanted to introduce you to a few things you maybe haven't heard from other countries, which is like very Swedish, or, you know, they are pioneering in like a certain habit or whatever it is. Like today, I want to talk about these few things, and I do that so you get to know Sweden a little bit better. So before we dive into all the weird and wonderful things in Sweden, make sure to subscribe to my YouTube channel and also sign up to my newsletter. There's a link down in the description below. And you also get a little ebook with 10 questions about if Sweden is the right fit for you. Let's get started. Sweden has decided to ban phones from schools. And first of all, I think that is a really amazing kind of thing to do. And it looks like other European countries will probably follow soon. But Sweden is one of the first countries saying like during the school day, you know, when kids are in school, and that applies really from 7 years old until 16 years old, they should not use their phones in the classroom or even like in the breaks, and basically have phone-free school days. And I can see already there is something in place already in our school where they have these little boxes where you can put in your phones, and you do that in the morning. And but I don't know if they are allowed to use them during, you know, breaks or anything. Or maybe also this is just a certain thing the school my daughter does, and now it should be nationwide that, you know, phones should be not the center of a child's, you know, day-to-day life, at least at school. And I think it's really, really good because as a mom of 2 mobile phones, I love them. You know, obviously they open up the world. I work a lot, you know, with my phone as well. There is so much good, but there's also so much bad, especially for kids where the brain is still developing, you know. And I like that in Sweden they take, you know, statistics or studies seriously. You know, we have not that much experience with phones. Like I did not grow up with a phone when I was a child. I know I'm that old already, but we were actually talking the other day, my partner and I, about it because my daughter was asking like how we grew up. She did actually ask if we not had electricity, which I just thought is very cute because, you know, what does she know? She's 7 years old, like how it was, you know, when we were kids like 30 years ago or something. But we did not grow up with phones, and that is actually very fascinating. And nowadays we have to kind of think about how we can teach our children using phones, which obviously is a different topic a little bit, but by already not making them accessible during a school day, at least at school they can just have a life without being you know, like glued to a screen. And as a mom, I'm already thinking, you know, you don't get a phone until you're, I don't know, 14 or 15, which is obviously really hard to implement if everyone else has a phone. But yeah, I think that's really great that Sweden wants to kind of ban phones during the school day. I think that will be a really good thing for children and for schools in general. And then I wanted to mention a little bit like what happened recently is that Sweden moved an entire church, you know, within a city. So there is the city of Kiruna, which is in the north of Sweden. And as far as I know, it's quite a mining cities, and because of the mining, how do you call that? Like mining fields, or like they have to move like parts of the city. And I think it was quite in the news, you know, they moved an entire church rather than, you know, taking it down and building it up, which is more the common way of moving buildings. they just took the whole kind of church and put it on wheels, and then were driving through the city basically to put it somewhere else. And I will leave some images here, or maybe a little bit of a video, because it looked fascinating, and you know, you could literally follow it. And you know, maybe only in Sweden you have that they move such a huge building as it is, and kind of like be, you know, I mean, it took them such a long time, you know, to do that as well. I found that very fascinating, and you can check it out, and I just wanted to mention it here if you haven't actually seen it. And one thing which you maybe have seen or not is rechargeable roads, which there are also, you know, like a prototype or like testing here in Sweden, which is really cool, because I just love that Sweden is so innovative, and they just trying things out, not thinking, you know, how inconvenient it is, but really thinking about the future and how they can make it better and more sustainable. So there are these roads, when you basically drive, it charges your vehicle automatically. And I thought that is something you just need to know about Sweden, that they are doing this and are probably the first ones to do that. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments down below. And last but not least, you know, I love visitsweden.com. I should probably be an ambassador for them, but I follow what they're doing, and I find their kind of advertising or their campaigns really, really cool and fun. And I feel like it shows a little bit like Swedish humor as well, which I'm getting to know a little bit as well. Obviously, it's a little bit slower because my Swedish is not that advanced that I could understand like Swedish humor when they speak Swedish, if you know what I mean. Because normally you can show your true self normally in your local language, although I have changed a lot. I don't even think I'm, you know, that funny anymore in German. Maybe I'm not even funny in English either. So now I'm just in this limbo where I'm not funny at all anymore. I don't know. But I feel more comfortable speaking in English actually than necessarily speaking in German. I guess I can get into speaking German very quickly, but I do, you know, having lived 10 years in London really has shaped me as well. And because I talk a lot also with work, you know, what I'm doing in English, so I feel very comfortable with that. But anyway, back to visitsweden.com. They had this campaign where they basically were saying that doctors are prescribing now time in nature. And honestly, when I read some articles about it, because that's how I came across it, I thought that was true. And then I could see it was actually a campaign by visitsweden.com where they say, you know, everyone should prescribe nature, you know, for healing, because honestly it's true. And they have, you know, like statistics or like studies which clarify that, and they probably had like some doctors, you know, saying things about that, because it's kind of true. But what is not true is that you can actually go to your doctor and say, like, you know, maybe I should just take some time off and spend time in nature. There's obviously burnout. You can have a prescription for that, but it doesn't necessarily mean you have to be in nature. But Sweden is just a really great place to be and spend a lot of time in nature, and that should make you feel better and happier. So check out that campaign. I will leave a link down in the description below as well, which I thought it's just really funny. I think you should just follow visitsweden.com for the humor. The other day I made another video of a campaign from them with Sweden versus Switzerland, which was already a year ago. But you know, I just discovered it and I thought it was so funny, and I just love that kind of humor. And there's quite a bit of self, you know, reflection in there as well. So let me know what you thought, and if you have anything else you want to share with us, you know, what is weird and wonderful here in Sweden, let us know in the description down below. Thank you so much for watching till the end, and I will see you in my next video. Hey do!